Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all well and welcome back to the channel. It's match day. You join me by the banks of the River Tyne. Just behind us is the Red Youth, and just above us in any second now is the King George VII Bridge. Yes, Dutch giants PSV Eindhoven are the visitors to St James's Park this evening on a match day 7 of the Champions League. Yes, European football is back. How on earth are we at match day 7 already? I don't know where these 6 games have gone, but tonight is basically a winner takes all. If PSV win, they've basically secured a playoff spot. If we win, we've secured a playoff spot. Now, I know we probably only need one more point because for every team in last season's league phase, bar one, 11 points was enough to qualify for the playoffs. But it could be even better. Who knows? We could still get the top 8 and then avoid a fixture congestion of 2 playoff games. So, yeah, it's a massive game tonight, and they'll be a very tough team. They are flying. But for now, I just want to go over Sunday's game briefly. Now, I know you might want us to. It was such a dull, dire, goalless draw, but I want to because I've had a few comments online about my reaction, my post-match video to Sunday's result. And a lot of people have said, wow, you were glass half empty, you're normally positive, glass half full. But I want to explain, I do apologise, it is a bit windy. Yes, PSV Eindhoven, the Dutch giants, come to St James's Park tonight. And like I said, they've been in magnificent form. In their league, they've only lost 1 game in the league in 19. And I believe that was to Telstar, if I remember right, when I've checked their results. Now, they've only had 3 defeats since April. Like I said, one of those was in the league, all at home to Telstar. I believe it was 2-0. And then the other 2 came in this very competition. They've won 2, drew 2, and lost 2. Obviously, their 2 wins were massive. 6-2 against Napoli at home, albeit Napoli had 10 men. And then they went and won 4-1 at Anfield, which isn't an easy feat. We know I haven't won at Anfield in over 30 years in all competitions. But their 2 defeats, 3-1 at home to Union Saint-Gilloise, who we beat 4-0 away, and then they lost 3-2 at home to Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone's team. So it shows the beatable. And while they are 16 points clear in their league, I mean, it is the Eredivisie. You've still got to bring it into context a bit compared to the Premier League. But this will be our 15th meeting with a Dutch club. In the other 14 games, we've won 8, drew 1 and lost 5. And this is obviously our 5th meeting with PSV in competitive games. The other 4, you have to go back to 1997-98. They were the team who stopped qualifying for the next round of the Champions League. Because if you remember, we opened with a 3-2 win over Barcelona at home. We were then 2-0 down in Kiev, and I think John Beresford got both goals. But then we played PSV away, lost 1-0 in Eindhoven, and then they came here and won 2-0. Then we lost 1-0 away to Barca, and then beat Kiev at home on the final day, 2-0 to finish on 7 points. And then 2003-04, when I used to sit in the Leazes, we drew 1-1 in Eindhoven, Ginas's header, and then you had in the second leg, Keshman's penalty, was sandwiched by a header from Alan Shearer, I believe, in the 9th minute at the Lees, and then Gary Speed at the Gallagher in the 66th minute. So, yes, it's that's the last time we played PSV. Obviously, Bobby Robson's old club. There's some PSV fans just in spoons there in the window. They're all over the city. It's a massive sellout tonight. Some of them have came over by flight. Some of them have came here by the DFDS and Old Shields. But yeah, they're all over the city. And I'll put it up on the screen, but some of them had an absolutely mega bar crawl yesterday. And I believe the Strawberry was one of them, but they posted it. Some of the bars, I think they went to 18 bars, ending at the Crow's Nest, but they're all over the place, honestly. That was a crawl and a half. So to tonight's game, look, I've said their league in comparison to the Premier League isn't the strongest, but they are still the defending Dutch champions, and they're not fluking these results by any means. And all their strength, when I've looked at podcasts from PSV's side, it looks like all their strength's down the wings. So their fullbacks love to bomb forward and create overloads and overlaps. Like I said, that's what we used to do. Trippier, Miggy, and Bruno, overloads on that side. That's what we need tonight. We need Miley up there. I think he should start right back, but Miley, Bruno, and whoever's on the right, I think it should be Elanga. Left-hand side, Gordon, Hall, and Joe Linton, or if it's Jacob Ramsey. But honestly, well, that's what we need to do. But that's where their threat will come from tonight. Down the wings, overloads, attacking fullbacks, very brave. So what am I predicting for tonight's team? Well, I'll go through and explain my reasons. So in goal, obviously, it will be Nick Pope. Now, right back. because of their threat, like I've just said, PSV's strengths are down the wings. I'd play Lewis Miley for that reason. I know we've got Trippier's experience, however, obviously he's lost a few yards. Not that he had many to begin with, but it started raining. It's always fun doing these vlogs in any weather. But yeah, I'd play Miley at right back just for his youth. He's obviously got his pace and he's got legs. So I'd play him there just to combat the wingers if we can. And obviously he'll need his winger to help him double up on anyone who's dangerous. We need to put a lot of work rate in tonight. Tonight's centre-backs with Dan Burn being back in training along with Willisula, but obviously they're not available yet. Eddie Howe said that yesterday. It'll continue as Malik Chow and Sven Botman. Left-back is obviously Lewis Hall. Now, my midfield, Bruno and Joe Linton would be in there. Now, Tonali's not being in form, so for this reason, I don't know if he's distracted because obviously he's a father, and that's a massive responsibility that he's now got at home. So for that reason, I'd play Jacob Ramsey. But the question is, do you play Bruno in the centre? Do you play Ramsey on the right because he's right-footed and Joe Linton on the left? Or do you put Joe Linton in the centre, Bruno on the right, and then you put Ramsey on the left because he can drop in those pockets of space, as I've referred to aforementioned? But I'd play Ramsey, Joe Linton and Bruno. Wissa would be in attack. I've said Wissa will come good. A massive issue for this season has been, like, the mitigation has to be the summer window. It was disruptive. We lost Isaac. And whatever you think of him, like, which isn't good for most away, he was still a quality striker. He was the strength of our system. It was built around him. We've lost him. We didn't get Ekitike, and then we had to get new signs in. I've come to it, Voltemora. Voltemora's done reasonably well, but as I've said, he's not a striker, he's a number 10. And he's done as much as he can so far, but I know he needs to still make runs in the box, and he doesn't win much in the air, and he's not strong. I think he needs to get a bit more strong in his game, and he needs to try and win things a bit more in the air. But look, the German press said it, and see it now. He is a number 10, so we need to find a way for him to work, because so far it hasn't. It may be that we'll have to stick with what we've got. Wissa, obviously, I think he will come good. Like, I know he's looked leggy, he's off the pace, but he didn't have a pre-season. All that's been covered before, and also he had his injury. So it might be a case that we'll have to just accept in this transitional season, which I think it is, that those two mightn't come good until we get a full pre-season in them, because they do look like they're off the pace at the moment. But we need players firing, because I've said Bruno and Barnes have been carrying the front line for a while. So, but yeah, I'd still stick with Wissa. I think he will come good. And then now the wingers, these will be controversial. I know a lot of you would go with Barnes, but I can see Eddie Howe sticking with Anthony Gordon tonight, just because he loves Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon's got that ability where he can still run at players. He normally turns it on in Europe, which is a big frustration of the fan base. It's like an attitude problem. He loves to turn the tap on when it comes to European games. Is it because he's in the shop window? Is it because it's the biggest stage? But St. James is under the lights. And you know what? He doesn't like playing on the right. Eddie Howe said that himself. So I think Anthony Gordon will continue on the left tonight. And we've got Harvey Barnes as an option off the bench. And then right-hand side. Now, you might like this, but I would go with Anthony Elanga. Now, the reason for this is because I know he's been a bit of a flop so far. We'll say that. We're 6 months in. Well, we're halfway through the season. What, 5-6 months? Elanga blatantly hasn't hit the ground running yet. He's clearly got ability, because we've seen that in Nottingham Forest. And we know it's in there. Now, is it because he played in the counter-attacking system there and he's not fit in our system, what Eddie Howe's trying to change to at the moment, a possession-based team, which doesn't work? So, look, but the only way Elanga's going to come good is if he's given games. Elanga needs to be given a run of games to prove he's either going to work here or he's not. So I'd play him for that reason, and he's got the pace to help Miley out, because I feel he tracks back more. I know Murphy's not available, but he certainly tracks back more than some wingers. And Barnes is wasted on the right. Keep Barnes on the bench. I know you mightn't like that. A lot of you'll say put Barnes in. That's totally understandable. I'm not against that, but I think tonight will be Gordon, Wissa and Elanga. Now, what am I predicting? I can see PSV scoring because they are a massive threat. You saw what they've done at Anfield, as I've said. So tonight's game, I'm actually going to go 2-1 Newcastle. Look, tonight, there's so much riding on the line. Take a giant step towards the playoffs. That was the minimum target. But if we win tonight, PSG lost last night, which in a way mightn't help because they could have rested players on the final day, but they lost last night, so it's going to be tough still going over there next week. But we need to win tonight, and then if we get the playoffs minimum, it's a two-legged game, but we need to finish 9th to 16th because the second leg, that'll be key, we'll be at home second. If we're finished 17th to 24th, we'll actually be at home first leg, and we saw against City in that it didn't work in the Carabao Cup, so we need to finish, if we're on the playoffs, 9th to 16th. So yeah, I'm going Newcastle United 2, PSV 1. Be a tough game, be a lot of quality on show, but I think we can't edge it. We've got the home crowd. It's Champions League under the night, one of those special St James's games. One last thing I just want to say, I've seen some people saying they've given up the ticket for the night because we're a tough watch, but I've just got to say, what's all that about? I'm sorry, but a tough watch. We've had to live through Bruce, we've had to live through McLaren, we've had to live through John Carver's spell. Honestly, I just don't get it. People saying we're a tough watch. You're giving up a ticket for a Champions League game. Look, I know it's been tough of late, but if you look at it in the league, we're unbeaten in 4 league games. And we're 3 points off the top 4. I know Sunday was a big opportunity missed with results going our way elsewhere. Liverpool drew, Spurs lost, Villa lost, etc. But yeah, look, it could be worse. We're still in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. And look, I don't expect to overturn it, like I've said, but we're still in the semis. And then if you look at the other competitions, FA Cup, yes, we've got Villa away. That's tough, but that's not insurmountable. We went there and ended their 11-month unbeaten home record in January 24 when we won 3-1. We're 3 points off the top 4, and if we win tonight, we're all but in the playoffs. So I don't see what the problem is. A lot of people saying, yeah, we might be a good watch at the moment, but the longest winning run in the league at the moment is 1 game. So it could be far worse. Like, I'm going back to glass half full. That was a one-off day for me on Sunday. But like I said, I'll never lie to you on here. I was just telling it how it was. But yeah, I'm up for the night. Bring it on. Come on. Look, you can get a massive chunk of revenue. And look, people say prioritise games, play the kids in the second leg. No, just go for every game, and if you get beat by the better team or it doesn't work out, so be it. That's elite level sport. But anyway, that's that rant over. So I'm going to go now. I'm going to go and get a cuppa from Greg's and head back to the office shortly. So thank you so much for watching. Wherever you're watching the game, hope you enjoy it, and let's hope Newcastle United win. So from me here, down by the quayside, the Tyne Bridge and the Millennium Bridge, hope you all have a fantastic match day, and I'll see you in my post-match reaction later.